Hey, this is Wayne here with Tri County Locksmith Service, and I'm going to show you how to repair or sharpen your bolt cutters. After a while, you use your bolt cutters a lot, you cut a lot of hard steel, you start to get these pits and these nicks and these dings to where when it's closed, you can begin to see these holes like this here, and you can see where it's warping. That's just due to, probably cutting a little bit harder stuff than we probably should be with these. This is a good HK set, and you can tell you have a good quality set because you'll have an adjustment screw. So as we trim down some of the layer here and redefine the edge, we'll be able to go ahead and take that slack back out of the unit because of this right here. As we tighten this down, it's going to go ahead and pinch the jaws closer together, and so on. So what you'll need is a grinder with a thin blade. I would prefer the thin blade simply because what we don't want to do is generate heat. Heat is going to be the enemy of this project because it's going to detemper the steel. This is a hardened tool steel. What you don't want to do is take the temper out of it and the heat treatment and turn it into mild steel. The reason these cut other steels and locks and chains and stuff like that is because they're a harder tool steel. So heat is the enemy, and if done properly, you can go ahead and not scorch the material and not overheat it, and you'll actually be accomplishing sharpening it without damaging it. So the thin blade is preferred. The thick blade, just you get too much pressure and you generate too much heat with it. So here's what we want to do. We want to get this thing going. We'll open these jaws up, make sure they're nice and secure, like so. And then we'll open them up, and we'll go ahead and take a little bit of material right now. When these were shut, it was rubbing here and here. So I'm going to rub all this flat and this flat, so they're going to lay flat again, and then we'll angle this way and we'll angle that way. You just kind of want to stay right in with what's already there. So we're trying to smooth everything out, and then we'll go ahead and see how close we are. So everything looks good and flat. That's what we want to see. We want to see the same amount of space all the way through there. And you'll notice there's no discoloration. It's because we're using a light touch on this blade as we do this. We're not really laying into it and trying to really cut too much material. Okay, so what you don't want to do is make too sharp of a point, but you want to make it so it's able to cut. So what I like to do is bring that together and then just kind of round it out. It's going to give that edge a lot of strength. If you make it too narrow, it's not going to cut properly. And it's actually gonna warp, and it's gonna get deformed faster. So this one needs a little bit more. And that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for this very specific, you don't want to make it like a knife edge. You want to make it with kind of a flat spot, but so it narrows evenly. And that's really what we've got right here. If we knife edge that, as soon as we go to cut something, it's going to go ahead and re-ding that back up. So we'll close. We'll see where we're at. Now you'll notice we have this gap here. And so that's where the adjustment comes into play. We'll just get a wrench, like so. And that should begin to close that gap. That's a really good identification on whether you're getting a quality set of bolt cutters or not. If they're going to have this notch in there, I mean if they're going to have this adjustment knob right here. So what I'm going to do is just adjust this just a little bit more. Okay. So as we use this, that adjustment still has, it could go a little bit more, but I'm just going to leave it right there because we're touching in the front, but not quite in the back. That's just how I like mine set. That's pretty much the optimum way to have it set. So you can see that right now, it'll cut something as soft as brass, but it'll also cut something as hard as chain if I can find a piece of chain link laying around. And this is hardened tire chain right here, and you can see this is just gonna cut right through it, no problem. Now as you can see, where we just cut right there, where we just cut right here, we didn't make that too sharp, so it didn't make any of those nasty dimples like it did before, like it looked like before. So if you find a used pair of good HK bolt cutters like this at a yard sale, you can salvage them and you can bring them back to life. Just takes a little bit of a finesse, a little bit of touch. Don't make the edge too sharp. You want to kind of give it a flat spot, an even spot, and then work out all the damage that's been done in there without overheating the blade, and it's going to cut just about anything. This is hardened. This is super hardened chain. So this is a good setup to have right here. That's how you can bring an old pair of bolt cutters back to life. For more information, go to www.tricountylocksmithservice.com.